Vice President Harris and I grew up middle class. We understand that. She actually worked in a McDonald's. She didn't go and pander and disrespect McDonald's workers by standing there in your red tie and take a picture.
Gwen Walz, well, she basked in the riots, telling local media that she actually opened the windows in her home. Why? To smell the burning tires so that she could breathe in the historic moment.
I think it takes a lot of imagination and courage to move away from a system that punishes people. How many chances do you get? My answer to that is as many chances as you need, which doesn't really please those law and order people.
All right. That was, first you saw Governor Tim Walz, that's Kamala Harris's running mate, attacking former President Trump for his campaign stop at a McDonald's outside Philadelphia. Then you heard from Governor Walz's wife. She had said, yes, it was a touchstone moment. She smelled the burning tires through the window during the 2020 riots in Minneapolis and St. Paul. This is the same Governor Tim Walz who let 7 fast food chain stores burn to the ground during those riots. Talking reportedly 1,500 businesses and homes burned as well. Joining us now, Trump 2024 National Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt. Okay, so Karoline, it's a pleasure to see you again. So we found it was stores like, let's show it again, Wendy's, Arby's, Denny's, Domino's, and he's criticizing Trump for going to McDonald's.
That's right. Governor Tim Walz, who let McDonald's and other small businesses literally burn to the ground in massive protests across the city of Minneapolis when he could have easily restored law and order. And Kamala Harris is also criticizing President Trump for his visit to McDonald's when she has been a disaster for small businesses across the country over the past 4 years. Small business optimism under Kamala Harris has hit a record low. Under President Trump, it was at a record high. And that's because small businesses and middle-class workers know that they had more money in their pockets when President Trump was in office. And that's why the American people loved his visit to McDonald's. It was wildly successful. It received wall-to-wall media coverage and attention. It went viral on social media. And it's pretty laughable, to be honest with you, to see the liberals in the Kamala Harris campaign melting down over retail politics. This is what campaigns are supposed to do. Nobody does it better than President Trump.
Yeah, well,
and by the way,
also,
I may add, Kamala Harris is taking the day off from the campaign trail today.
Okay,
no public events.
We got to move on. We're seeing new reports out of Tim Walz's old Minnesota congressional district. They are not inviting Walz back to campaign. Voters there say he's become more radical. When he won Trump in 2016, he actually flipped Walz's home district red, and that practically chased Walz out of Congress after Walz almost lost his re-election bid that year in 2016. Walz only won re-election by about 2 points, and at that point he decided to run for governor instead. So Trump had flipped Walz's home district red in 2016. That congressional district doesn't want to invite him back to campaign. Watch Tim Walz's new defense for his misleading statements and embellishments. He now claims his lying is because he speaks from the heart. We're not sure how lying comes straight from the heart, but here goes. Watch.
But in an era where there's so much mistruth in our politics, so many lies, can't there be no gray area? And how would you convey to voters they may be concerned that there's a trust issue?
Yeah, something for me is, I think, being a teacher, being a coach, I just speak from my heart. I speak honestly. I speak in the moment.
You speak in the moment. Didn't he claim he was in war and he saw combat? Claimed he was in Hong Kong during the Tiananmen Square massacre when he wasn't? He also just compared Dick Cheney to Taylor Swift on the Jon Stewart show. So, you know, what do you make of his explanations for lying?
It's another lie. Tim Walz should own up to the lies that he has told in the past. They're not coming from the heart. It's not because he's a teacher. That's utterly absurd. It's because he's a lying, phony politician, just like his running mate Kamala Harris, who has lied about every single policy position she's ever held. She's now doing another flip-flop on fracking. Her campaign just admitted the quiet part out loud, saying she will not expand new oil drilling. This is after she's been promising to expand fracking.
We got more sound coming in.
She's a mess. They both are, because they are liars.
We got more information coming in. Politico is reporting Walz went on the Will Arnett podcast and slammed union members for not backing Harris and for going for Trump. Listen to this sound.
Yeah, in rank and file union members, one thing. Look, the leadership in unions, that's more political than what I'm doing.
Right.
They have to cover their butt on their things, and I'm as frustrated as you are on this, Will. But the one thing I do think about, you wonder what happened. I think some of it is how we message this. I don't think that's the full blame on it. Certainly, Donald Trump is a master of manipulation, a master of what new media look like. But I do think there's some ways as what are we not doing to appeal to those rank.
All right, so he's criticizing what? The Teamsters rank and file, the International Fighter Fighters Union for not going for Kamala Harris, and the rank and file going for Trump. Is this a good move to publicly, denounce and criticize unions for going for Trump?
Of course it's not. This is what they do. They deflect blame and responsibility from anyone but themselves. It comes down to policy, comes down to money in pockets. People know, especially union workers, they had more of that under President Trump.
Karoline Leavitt, thanks for joining us tonight. It's good to see you.